So if we take a look in our inventory textures reference folder, we can see that there's a texture in here called Skyrim menu. If we open that up, we can see the menu here that we're going to be imitating. So we're going to be creating a menu that's based off of this design. It's going to have similar features where we'll have items that will pop up and have different icons and different names depending on what they are. They'll each have a weight and a value. On the top here, we'll have different types that we can filter the items by. We'll have some different buttons that you can press for different controls on the bottom. On the right, we'll have a 3D interactable widget here that we'll use with a render target so that you can actually rotate around this object while you're in the menu. And then we'll have a description down here that's going to be specific for each item that we have. Down here on the right, we're actually just going to have a full carry weight that we'll put down here. And that's going to determine how much the max weight you can carry, and if you go over that, you'll become over encumbered and you'll slow down. So this is what we're going to be using for our reference for creating this entire inventory system. There's a few things that we're going to need to do in order to prepare our project for this inventory section. So there's some free assets that are available on the marketplace in the Epic Games launcher that we're going to need to download and add to our project. They're all free and available via the marketplace. So first of all, we're going to be using the map from the Infinity Blade Grasslands project, so we'll need to add this to our project. To do so, we click the Add to Project button. Most likely you'll need to search for the project here in the window. And if it doesn't show up here, you'll need to tick this Show All Projects. If you're using Unreal 5 or higher, you'll need to do this in order to see it. Then you'll choose your project, and then if it shows up red down here, then that means that there's not a compatible version, which isn't a problem. We just need to select the closest version to the project that we are using. So if you're using 5.2 or higher, you would use this 5.1 version, and then click Add to Project. The next asset pack that we're going to be utilizing is this Infinity Blade Props project. You can find that in the marketplace, and again, you just need to add to the project, search for your project. You may need to tick this Show All Projects again, choose your project, choose which version you're going with, and then add to the project. Next, we'll want to grab the Infinity Blade Weapons asset pack. You'll add this to the project the same as you have all of the other projects. And finally, we're going to be using this Food Pack 01 asset pack, which again is available for free on the marketplace currently. This is going to give us access to all of our food. Again, we'll add it to our project. And in this case, we most likely are going to have to show all projects because even if you're using 427, the most recent version they have is 426. So you'll need to choose the closest version and add that to the project. Now once we have all those added, we can open up our project. And with our project open, there are a few things that we want to set up and make sure they are enabled. So first let's go to Edit and go to our plugins. And there are 4 plugins that we want to make sure are activated with this project. First, we're going to type in Groom, and we want to make sure that this Alembic Groom importer is activated, as well as the Groom plugin. So make sure these are both checked. Next, we want to type in Control Rig, and we want to make sure this Control Rig is activated. And then finally, we want to make sure that the Enhanced Input plugin is activated. Now, if you needed to activate any of these plugins, then you'll need to restart the editor as well. If you didn't check any of these and activate them, then you won't need to restart the editor. Next, we can go to Edit, Project Settings, and we're going to go to Maps and Modes, and we want to make sure the default game mode is set to Echo Game Mode. If it's not, then set it here as Echo Game Mode. We also want to make sure that our editor startup map and our game default map are both set to Elven Ruins. And again, we can click on this and click on Elven Ruins here to set those up. Next, in the top, we want to type in input, and we just want to make sure that a couple of these enhanced input modules are set up correctly. So if we scroll down to where it says the engine enhanced input editor only, the default editor input class should be this enhanced player input. And then if we scroll down some more, under engine input, we want to make sure that the default classes, the default player input class is set to enhanced player input, and the default input component class is set to enhanced input component. We also want to type in the top here SM6 and make sure that this SM6 is ticked. Our Echo Blueprint character can be found in Content, Echo Content, Blueprints, BP Echo. This is the character that we'll be using in this level. If you're having issues where the character is showing up bald like so and the hair is not showing up, you can change this and use an original mesh rather than the groom assets by going to this use groom assets variable and unticking use groom assets. That will put the original mesh cards back as her hair. And our main level we're going to be using is in Content, Infinity Blades Grasslands, Maps, and it's this Elven Ruins level. And we can double click on it to open it. And once we've opened it, we can press play and we can see the level that we've opened. This is the Elven Ruins from the Infinity Blade Grasslands project, and this is going to be our main level for this project.